I'm not going all the way through for several reasons. The way I drill a hole whenever it's got to go in one place and connect to the other place is I draw some lines that'll help me locate where that thing is. In this case, I'm just going to use a nail and just run it in that hole on the threaded end of this hole, lightly mark that. And then I'm going to draw some lines that I can connect and have something to give me something to aim at. So that hole ends up right there. And it starts down here. So if I draw a line from there to there, that's the path of that screw. And I will go in from both ends. It's easier to go in from both ends and meet in the middle. I can't get it apart. Wrong thing. It's a pretty good fit, and it won't come apart. And just push together. There we go. That's really snug. I got a lot of pressure on the sides of this trigger tank. A lot of pressure. So I've already started my hole in there. I've got a line that gives me my direction, and I'm going to start from here and keep going with that line, and I'm going to connect in the middle. If I put my light on this side where I can see that line, and I've got it aimed up at me, at where my eyes can comfortably see that, and just drill it. I just connected. Now I have got the smallest size diameter bit that would let that screw pass through, and I stay to the back of that hole, so if there's any pressure put on there, it's going to be pulling all that metal back. It's rocking on that lug. That lug is bottomed out, because when I push it down here, the back comes up. When I push the back down, the front comes up, and the center of the fulcrum is right there at that lug. This little thing here is bottomed out down in that mill. I got to go down about a 30-second, at least a 30-second. That's one and a heavy half. I've got another 30 seconds to go down right there. But I think I have room to push it down. I have the top and the bottom in place, and I've got this back screw in, and I've got this thickness 1 7/16 top to bottom correct. I'm going to drill this. I'm going to start to drill this screw hole that goes from the top down to that lug in the bottom. I'm going to drill it undersized so that as I enlarge it, if I have to, I can ooch it. I'm going to start from the top and go down. Mark the center of that hole. I'm not going to go in very far at all. It's just, I'm kind of taking a swag on this angle right here, but it's 90 degrees. It's perpendicular to this surface. Alright, I'm going in about a third of the way. If you wonder what this is, it's to prop this open, because that's got a fairly heavy duty spring on it, and it won't stay open by itself. Now I'm going to take it apart again and mark the lug inside there. Inside here is this lug, and the threads face up. So I'm going to put an insert in that lug and then put this back together and press me a little mark in the bottom of that hole. And then I'm going to start from that hole and connect to the hole that I drilled from the top. And hopefully if I connect the two, then I can enlarge it and I can center it. You can see it's a tapered screw. Most of them are. Every now and then you'll see one that's a straight-sided screw, but this one's tapered, and that's for a reason. Because they hold like crazy when they're tapered like that. Several years ago I made a bunch of these little, what I call guide points. They're just different diameters of threads that will go into a place like that, and they have a little point ground on them, and I can put it in there, and then I can mark a spot where it ends up. And I gotta find one with the same thread as that guy, or sometimes I make them as I need to. This is probably guaranteed metric, but if I can go in just a little ways, just a touch, and mark that spot, I'm going to take a brass hammer and I'm going to tap that thing. Hopefully that left a mark. It did. It did. That drill bit, perfect for the small diameter of that lug screw, but I've got to make it bigger for the big diameter of that lug screw. You can see the tip of that drill bit coming at you with your eyes, and you can steer it this way, that way, the next way. That's probably the most official, the most effective use of the term ooching. Alright, I'm going to start with that.